not touch anything in front of you. Again, do not touch anything in front of you. Fill in where you see papers in a booklet.
Well, our academy, Newcastle County Police, is one of the 3 agencies in the state of Delaware that offer their own police academy. The only ones in the state other than ourselves is Wilmington Police Department and Delaware State Police. For that reason, there's other smaller agencies that will send their recruits through our police academy. So we do roll call when they get here so that we know who's in the room to make sure that those recruits from those other agencies are also present and accounted for. The orientation is designed so they get a chance to meet the chain of command, our lieutenant, our captain, a few other members of the professional development unit. Not the academy staff, they'll get a chance to meet them on the first day. It gives us an opportunity to actually meet them, note different things about them. The expectation is that they show up for orientation looking the part. They're ready for the academy. The hair is cut, they're looking professional. There's no beards or mustaches or anything like that because those things would be outside the realm of what's expected in the academy. First person they're going to meet is the captain of the unit, Captain Diane Smith. She says a short piece, what her expectations from them are.
Captain Diane Smith, I'm the commander of the Administrative Services Section, which means I oversee the academy. This is Lieutenant Travis McDermott. He's the lieutenant in charge of the academy.
Secondly, they meet the lieutenant, who gives them more detail of the things that they are expected to do or not do.
I'm Lieutenant McDermott, as the captain said. I'm the commander of the Professional Development Unit. What does that mean? That means I oversee all training, which includes Lieutenant Joseph Szczerba Police Academy. That means I'm your boss.
He will spend a significant amount of time going over the expectations, how they're held to a higher standard. They're no more the person that worked their previous job. They're now Newcastle County police recruits, and they can't make those same decisions that they've made before. The one thing that this agency is professional, and we expect that same professionalism from our recruits as well. We're not yelling and screaming or anything like that, but we're very direct. What we're looking for is for them to move with some purpose, to at least look like they are committed and involved in the orientation experience, to make sure they're taking notes if they're supposed to be taking notes, that they're on time, that they're paying attention to the instruction that's given. We're not wasting our time. It's not like, this is frivolous information. These are actually things that they need to pay attention to so they're successful in the academy. They also get assignments, who's going to be in charge of quarters, which is our CQ, for those first few days before the actual first day of the academy. That first and second day are actually going to be administrative days. After the 2 HR days are done and all the administrative and payroll things are complete, they show up for day 1 of the academy.
So on day 1 of the police academy, they line up at the back door of the police academy, and they are told to get here at a certain time. And at that certain time, they will ring a doorbell, and the doors will swing open. And they are told to file into the gym here in the police academy and get into a formation. They haven't even been taught what a formation was yet, but usually we have prior military members that help out the class, especially with drill and ceremony type of things. So they come into the academy, they get into a formation, and they're introduced to the academy staff. So at that time, what I like to call controlled chaos begins.
CQ, get up. Sir, yes, sir. Make your thighs back down. Sir, yes, sir. Get up. Tell me what. Get up. Get up.
Don't look at him.
Sir, yes, sir. Sir, yes, sir. Sir, 6, sir. Sir, 7, sir. Sir, 8, sir.
Yeah!
Did you get it? Hey, did you get it? Done, sir, done? Sir, done, sir! Well, you said it, they didn't say it. How's that?
We tell them to get in different positions throughout the gym, and we tell them that they must stand at the position of attention, but they haven't even been taught that yet. So we teach them these small items, such as drill and ceremony, throughout that day and throughout the coming weeks. But we're telling them and we're giving them these orders and these commands under stress.
Your feet are at a 45-degree angle. Your fists are on your trouser seat and your pinkies are rolled back with your chest high and proud. You understand?
Sir, yes, sir.
At the beginning, we asked them to memorize items such as 10 codes, chain of command, our core values, things that they can read when they get home and memorize them and recite them the next day.
Sir, yes, sir! Sir, 10-1! Situation under control! Sir, no! Sir, yes, sir!
Very simple questions that if we were in an interview and there was no stress and there was no chaos, they'd easily be able to answer those questions for me. But under this controlled chaos, for the screaming and the yelling, in the unknown, it's very difficult for some recruits to complete those simple tasks.
Get down! What are you doing?
So all they have to do is be very aware of where we are at all times. So if we are standing on the same plane that they are, or the same floor, or in the same room, they must call attention. If they come into a room that we are already in, they must call attention. And it tests them, because it's something they've never done before. It's very new for everyone, even the military recruits. They've never done something like this before. And if they don't call attention, they get disciplined for it. And that is some type of physical exercise.
Good, everybody down. 4, sir. Sir, you also walked onto the plane that you're on. This is a different room. You snap to the position of attention. Why are you sounding off? You understand? Sir, yes, sir! I just walked out. You're supposed to call attention. Everybody get out. Sir, yes, sir!
If they call attention when they weren't supposed to call attention, they get disciplined for it in some type of physical exercise as well.
Try that again. Attention! I'm still in the same room as you. Get out. Sir, yes, sir!
Beginning of the academy, they're not allowed to look around. So when they're marching, they have to keep their eyes forward, but they walk into a room, we always stand in a position where they can see us, because they're not allowed to look around. As the weeks progress, and this is very quickly on the first 3-4 weeks, marching is done. Then we tell them that they must walk around with their head on a swivel, meaning they're looking left and they're looking right, and they are aware of everything that takes place around them. So them calling attention in the room, that's already been ingrained in their brains. That's why we've moved on to allowing them to look for other things. So it's like just one step, moving on slightly into a new phase. They've already know how to call attention for the academy staff or any instructor. Now we place other items throughout the academy that they must look for, such as pictures on a wall, different types of suspects, things that are out of the ordinary that are not normally in the academy. It's up to them to call those items out so we know that they are seeing them. And if they don't see them, they get disciplined for it.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
Sir, 18, sir.
So every day through the academy, throughout the entire day, we can promise them one thing, and that is that they will be completely exhausted when they go home.